kids are asleep. It's 9 o'clock in the evening right now, and this is the time when my gardening starts. So, you know, I have some hectic days. I'm at work all day, and when we go home, we take care of the kids and we have a good family time. And when they go to bed, hopefully they will fall asleep. It always takes 1 or 2 hours, and at that point I'm finally able to do all the other things that I'm doing. I'm remodeling the downstairs bathroom, which is a forever going project because I'm gonna go do most of it myself. So, but that's another story. I'm doing stuff here and there, and there's just not enough time in the day. So I wish I had one day off. So if somebody at work are watching, I should have one day off, paid to do gardening. I think that would be awesome. Well, anyway, I was supposed to do an episode on Sunday. I got everything rigged up, the new camera and the whole shebang. I went outside and I wanted to do an episode where I showed where the greenhouse, the new greenhouse is supposed to be in the summertime, and where we're gonna plant some apple trees and we're gonna cut and trim and do this and that. But the problem is that I actually climbed up to the roof of the garage to get a nice overview of the whole area. I started recording, went down and did the whole episode on this and that, and I was kind of happy on how it turned out, except one thing: there was no sound. Yeah, the battery went dead 20 seconds after I started, so the whole thing went sideways. So, but I will try to do that video again, because I really want to show you where everything is going to happening this summer, because indoor gardening is fun, but outdoor gardening is exceptionally fun, because that's where things really happen. So I'm really excited about the new greenhouse, so I can't wait. But until that time, we have a few other things to do. I asked you guys on Google Plus, on the Pepper Lover community, and I asked the people over on my Facebook page, and I got some really good input on what to do a video on. So this is, well, it's 9 o'clock, so it's gonna be a simple episode where, you know me, it's gonna go on forever, but I'm gonna try to keep it a little bit simple. I wanted to show you, these are actually the tomatoes that we planted on the last episode, and they are looking really nice. They are soon going to get fed, I think, and I'm gonna repot these, and I'm gonna transplant them deeper and do the whole Prax method, or whatever it's called. The other thing that I was going to show you is that these peppers, wow, they look amazing. I just love the way these look. This is actually a Thai pepper, and this one is a shishito. And it's time to chop the heads off. I want them to grow short and bushy. I think this one actually might stay in this size pot for as long as possible, just because I wanted to see how they fare. I have a tendency of transplanting into large pots quite often and really fast. But this time I'm gonna do it the opposite way, and I'm gonna try to see how fast I can grow them and how large I can grow them in just these small containers. So I asked you guys what you wanted to see an episode about, and I got all kinds of answers. Some of you wanted to see me top these peppers, so that's really simple. I'm gonna bring you in a little bit closer later, and I'm gonna. It's the simplest thing in the world. So it's just bearing over the pain of cutting down something that really looks nice. That's the thing that I really need to show, how you can survive the pain of doing that. The other thing that I was asking about was, do you want to see me grow mushrooms? Because I actually got a kit, a grow your own mushrooms. These are chestnut, I don't know what's it called. I have no idea. But these are mushrooms. I think it's called button mushrooms or something in English. This is a package which contains some grow medium. Yeah, it looks really moldy, and that's the way it's supposed to look. And some soil. But I don't have time for this today, so this will be the next episode, and I've been looking online for videos on how to do this, and I've seen so many videos where people are putting them in soil and this and that and watering and everything looks nice, and we're gonna show you what's happening in the next episode. There's no more episodes. I'm gonna keep my promise, and I'm gonna update on this because I have no idea if this one will work. I have to say this one is a little bit old because I bought it and it's been sitting on the shelf for ages, so I don't know if I'm able to start it, but I might be able to. I did actually this spring, well, the last spring, I did another type of mushroom, and it grew phenomenally. And I picked this huge chunks of mushrooms, and they were great. So I think I might be able to do it. The other thing that some of you wanted to know was, what do I fertilize with? Well, it's really simple. In the beginning, I started with all kinds of stupid things, but I just wanted to keep it simple because I'm gonna be doing this every day, and I'm gonna be, it's a whole procedure. If I'm going to make it too complicated, then I will not be able to do it because, as you might know by now, I don't have that much spare time at the moment. So I just keep it simple. These are some, I think it's Dutch, made from, I don't know what's it called. It's some type of sugar beet or something. It's organic. It's BioBiz, BioGrow, and BioBiz fish mix. Now the fish mix, evidently the fish mix is for outside growing. And there's a good reason. It smells like, well, I don't mind. I really don't mind because I fertilize with them. I know these are just great for my plants. And even though everything doesn't look that big, it's because I keep my grow lights at the roof level. I should have them down here just to keep everything growing perfectly, but it's more important for me to have something that is nice for me to walk around in, and it's an indoor office for me. I have my computer over there, and that's where I sit and do my work, and I don't want it to be this confined grow tent space. This is my garden, and it's really important for me to come up here and just sit on the carpet if I want to. I can look closely at the plants, and I can do everything, and there's no lamps in the way, and there's no nothing. So these are just laid out here, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. I could have used this space a lot better accompanying with my light, but this is the way I like my garden, and I'm not growing, as Ray says, he's not growing for competition, and I'm not growing for competition. I'm just growing for fun. And the plants that I'm really focusing on getting outside, like the seedlings that I have, all my pepper seedlings, by the way, I'm gonna show you those, but they're in another house, and yeah, I need to move everything, and I will do that in an upcoming episode because they're really starting to look nice, and there's time for topping, and I'm gonna bring you along on that thing. But anyway, wow, I just ramble on. This is my fertilizer. I really enjoy it. It's not as expensive. I think I pay. I think it's about $10 for each. It's they come in 1 liters. They're shipped from Spain. So to you, ecologic growing gardeners in Europe, I would highly recommend these. You can get them on eBay. The guys that make them actually sell them on eBay. So yeah. And the last thing. Well, I actually been getting a lot of questions. My channel is fairly small, but I'm amazed at how many people are actually subscribed to me already. I think I have, I'm closing in on 700 subscribers. And that's just amazing. It means that actually when I post a video, people are actually watching it. And it means that somebody out there are probably into the same things that I am, and want to join me on the journey. And please hang on till we get outside in the summer, because I have some crazy plans, and I really think you're gonna like what I will be doing there, and would have so much more material, because indoors it's it's not that much that happening from week to week. So it's it will be more fun outside, and we have some more projects, and I'm gonna bring you along on the whole thing of how I'm gonna set up the greenhouse and everything. And that project is starting just as soon as the frost is out of the ground, because I need to bring down an excavator and yeah, flatten the whole area where I'm gonna put it, because it's about 2 meters wider than my property where I'm gonna put it. So I need to do some thinking. I'm gonna bring someone along to see if we can get that going. Well, anyway, this is actually bok choy. I love bok choy. My whole family love bok choy, and well, at least the adult ones. I grow this. This is just for fun. I have one in each container. It's not a huge production, but it's nice to have one plant at a time, and I can bring it inside, and we could use it in whatever we're cooking, and it's just a nice thing to have. And I think it actually is quite beautiful. It's a nice plant, and I just love the taste. So these are I'm gonna grow these outside this summer. This is actually a really dwarf type. The ones that I used to grow and the one that I gave the seeds away from was a larger plant. But I really like this one, and it's definitely more enjoyable to grow this inside than the larger, because the larger ones tend to, yeah, they are not as nice to grow under dimmer lights than what you have outside. Now, some of you on Facebook may have noticed I threw out my rice. I had this huge bush of rice here. Well, the spider mites came, took it, and I threw it out. Veni vidi vici. I came, I saw, I conquered, or whatever it's called. They just decimated it. I was looking closely at, because the leaves started to get brown, and I was this is not a good sign. I know what's going on, and I looked at it closely, and yeah, there were spider mites. So I threw it out. I didn't want to get into the whole hassle of controlling the spider mites on that kind of a plant, because there was a ton of stems and just as many leaves. So I didn't want to do the whole thing on that. So I threw it out, and that actually made me realize something really important about indoor growing. If you keep your plants in containers, like I do right here, not with the big grow box, because the big grow box is just another hell, because everything is spreading like fire. If you have one infested plant, then you will sure have another one, the one right beside it, in a few days, because they spread like fire, and they just travel on the soil, and yeah, the whole thing. But what I've discovered is that if I keep my plants separated into pots, and I try to organize my plants so the leaves doesn't touch another plant. Well, I know, I know that's a lot of work, and when they grow you have to constantly adjust, but since I have the problem that I have right now, the thrips, there's still thrips in the grow box. I've not seen thrips on either of the plants that I have over here, but I'm taking all precautions. So the spider mites, that I know this one probably has some spider mite eggs, because there's been spider mites, and I've been using pyrethrin on this, and it's been working nice. They go away, but sometimes some of the eggs survive and they repopulate. So this one had problems with spider mites. The lemon I have back here, have been having some issues with spider mites. I've been controlling it and I can't find anything now. But if I keep this plant close to like a banana, for instance, and the leaves touch, this banana is gonna pick up the spider mites. And the banana, it doesn't like the spider mites. They really decimate the banana plant in quite a short time. These lemon trees or the citrus trees, they are quite hardy and they can take pyrethrin without any problem. But the banana doesn't like it. So if you're having problems, I got 99 problems, but spider mite is actually the worst. If you're having problems indoors with spider mites or other things, make sure that the plants don't touch each other until it's all fixed. Then they can party and do whatever they want to, but until it's fixed, just do yourselves a favor and don't let them touch each other. Yeah, you probably see 10 points here where they touch each other, but yeah, it's not a big problem. I actually got a question. What, if anything, has survived since your first YouTube video? And, on Sunday it was actually 1 year since my first YouTube video, and the long answer to that is nothing. Everything is gone. Well, there's two reasons. I suck at gardening. I would say that's the main reason. The other one is that in the beginning I started with everything that I wanted to grow outside, and I didn't start anything that was, well, at least I didn't start that many things that was supposed to be in here for forever. All the things that I succeeded with in the springtime went outside in the summertime, and it's just around Easter, I would say, I got a few plants like this citrus, and I got a few of the other citrus which was decimated by the spider mite. So it's kind of like starting a plant. But I would say that these ones are the ones that have been staying in here for the longest. Actually, the longest staying plant here is actually my aloe. And it's the one I enjoy the most. It's just because there is no problems with it. It just lives and breathes. There's no problems with insects, not at all. Nothing bites on this kind of a plant. So if you hate spider mites, well, fungus gnats, that's not really a problem because it's gonna stay bone dry almost all the time either way. So you don't have any problems with thrips or spider mites or fungus gnats. There's just no problems. So get an aloe. If you don't want to do gardening, get an aloe. It's a nice plant. I'm actually gonna be doing some Q&A because I get a lot of questions both on YouTube and on my Facebook page, and I'm gonna try to use a lot of these questions in my episodes because there's really not that much to show you inside here. So I'm going to be answering a lot of the questions that I get in on this channel. So if you have any questions, just please post it. I would love to see, love to help you and to share my experiences on things, because I've tried a lot right now. It's been a year inside this garden, and I see more and more I see what works and what doesn't. So I could give you some pointers if there is anything that you would like to tap into this 1 year bank of indoor gardening at this scale. So yeah, I think that's it for this week. I'm gonna bring you in a little bit closer and I'm gonna chop the heads off, and you can see that, and we can cry together. And after that, I will see you next time. So just give me 2 seconds. Well, it's cold, but I have milk in it. If you see a little bit closer here, you can see there's buds forming everywhere on this plant. This is a Thai variety, and a lot of people will tell you that you don't need to trim or prune all your peppers or all the varieties of peppers. I'm pruning everything. It's just a habit of mine. I just love the way they look once they start growing new shoots, and they will branch out from the bottom, and I think it looks more like a tree, and I like them to look that way. And in my experience, at least growing outside here in Norway, I would say that the pruned peppers are doing much better for me, in my personal opinion. I know that a lot of you will disagree, and at least a few of you guys at the pepper lover community will say that, well, you probably shouldn't prune all your pepper plants, but I'm doing every one because that's just the way I'm gonna do it. And what that does is it will really help the plant start new shoots and bush out and get a lot stronger for when they grow outside. And it actually it keeps the plants smaller, and they really focus their energy into producing a thick stem and nice root system, and that's what I want in a plant. So I'm just gonna cut this one right here. I would like to keep at least 2 sets of true leaves. Well, on this one I have 3, and as you can see, it's starting to put out new leaves already. But that's, yeah, it's a shame. But and just rip the foliage apart, and well, all the peppers they smell different. This one smells really good. That's the Thai pepper. I think the Thai pepper grows really short, so it's probably something that you don't need to trim, but we're gonna do it anyway. The shishito, I know for a fact that the shishito loves getting a haircut. The one that I have growing in the grow bed, it's so short and bushy and full of peppers, and that's the way I want my shishitos to look. I'm gonna have, I think shishitos is the ones that I'm gonna grow a ton of outside this summer. I will see, I think I have 6 shishitos going inside here, and I also have a few in the room where I have my pepper startings. I think I'm gonna grow at least 6 of these outside because that's the pepper, that's the go-to pepper for me and my family. So yeah, we're gonna see more of that later. Yeah, I know it's a shame, but you will thank yourself in the end, and I most definitely will, because these are gonna be looking fantastic inside. This one, yeah, as I think I mentioned it, these are going to stay inside. These are gonna be my house plants, my house chilies. And you can't be too careful. You need to check everything. Everything. Well, I'm not gonna talk anymore now because you're probably bored and left the video 15, 20 minutes ago, something. I will say I'm working on a really cool project. It's a computer-based project, and I dare to say that I think you will love it. You will see more of it. I'm planning on finishing the whole thing by this summer. Don't hold me to it because I don't have time to do it, so I'm just doing it in between kids' food, sleeping, gardening, sleeping, kids, throwing up, fevers, gardening, and gardening. Okay, until next time, this is Christopher saying may the force be with you, and goodbye. Okay, more coffee. I will have to grow this one day. Well, I do. I have coffee. I don't have beans. One day. One beautiful day.